Good evening and welcome to the programme. A councillor has resigned from the Conservative Party after criticising a Lambeth Academy's plans for a boarding school in the West Sussex countryside. John Cherry warned of a sexual volcano if children from inner-city London broke out of the school and escaped into the forest. He also claimed that some nationalities were uncertain when it came to hard work and that Pakistani children would fail to rise to the top. Mark Ashdown has this report.
When these primary students move on, Durand Academy wants to help them swap the concrete of Stockwell for the rolling fields of Midhurst. This is where they would board in a brand new secondary school from Monday to Friday, free of charge. But one local councillor there gave his reaction. John Cherry said Pakistani children fail to rise to the top. He added some nationalities are uncertain what hard work is about and warned pupils could escape into the forest. It will be a sexual volcano. He's now resigned and apologised, but local opposition remains strong.
What they are proposing is a massive, massive development. It's going to dwarf this, a Grade 2 listed building.
There's going to be a lot of extra traffic. The infrastructure simply isn't there.
Back in London, parents outside Durand today aren't bothered by the comments.
The school that they've got as a boarding school, it's very nice, and I think that's where my daughter will be going as secondary school. I'm going to support them in every aspect.
Every child should have every opportunity to become who they want to be. So if they are creating that, Durand is trying to create that opportunity, a good environment for children to build a better future. I'm supportive of that.
But this row has distracted from the controversies. Midhurst opponents say the site, which did house 100 pupils, is unsuitable for 600, and busing them backwards and forwards will damage the environment. The biggest hurdle is the cost. Being an academy, Durand has more control over its budget. For example, this building behind me is a leisure centre they've built on site. They can use the revenue raised to invest in the school. Some have questioned, though, whether they can really raise enough money to fund a 600-place boarding school 50 miles away. The whole plan has been referred to the Public Accounts Committee, a group of MPs who'll scrutinise every aspect. The executive head, who dismissed the race comments as bizarre nonsense, is not concerned.
I'm fairly confident that they'll come back as being a very good spend of public money. I mean, we're going to be able to demonstrate this will have an impact in educational terms for many, many generations, and it's cheaper than quite a lot of previous secondary schools. So I've no question that this will be seen to be a good value.
The masculine in the language is always stronger than the feminine.
There's no doubt changes at Durand have raised achievement. A free state boarding school is the kind of innovative reform which turns heads. The sort of language Whitehall approves of, even if it's a hard sell elsewhere.
And Mark's with me now. On a wider note, where does this leave plans for this school?
Well, firstly, they're innovative, aren't they? But they're also controversial. And this group of MPs we heard about there, this Public Accounts Committee, they could be crucial in all this. Their job is to open up the books, go through all the figures and work out whether this represents value for money. Now, boarding schools charge upwards of £7,000 a year. Now, 600 or so pupils here, even by my crude maths, that's about £4 million a year running costs. Now, parents, of course, will pay no money. There are no fees here, so somebody has to find that money. Durand says it will come from their revenue generators, like the gym, as we saw there. They also say it'll be much cheaper than other boarding schools, about £1,000 per pupil. But opponents say it doesn't add up, and if it all fails, the taxpayer could be left bailing it out. Now, it does have broad backing of the Education Secretary, Michael Gove. He's already given them a £17 million grant. And today, well, it's been a distraction, really. These comments aren't really very helpful at all, but of far more concern to all parties going forward will be what this group of MPs come back and judge on these plans.
OK, Mark, thank you. Mark Ashdown there. Lots more to come this evening, including